All right, so the running joke, especially if you guys have been following the podcast, you know that we say, what is the best backdrop for some of our podcasts?
And there's been plenty.
We have been at King's Barns. We've been in a number of really exciting places. However, this might just take the cake because this is a spot. Take a look behind us, guys. We are at the PGA Show, literally looking there and seeing thousands of people, a sea of people as far as the eye can see. And we are in the Titleist booth. It's kind of funny. It's one of those things you ask very delicately if you can do it.
Right.
The last couple of years we've been in the Titleist booth. We see this nice spot up top, and we're like, I would love to do a podcast from there. So we put out the right feelers. We said, you guys think maybe we could score some time up there? And the team was cool enough. They let us come up here, use the space, and they're going to have us bringing up in a second a very interesting guest. Who do we got?
We got Bob Vokey coming on the show.
Mr. Bob Vokey. Now, if you've been following the show for long enough, you know we had Bob on the show. What was it? Probably 2 years ago now.
Yes.
Right? It was a call-in. It was one of our wildest shows ever because Bob was in his office.
Right.
The fire alarm went off. They had to evacuate the building. And I still remember Bob saying, guys, can I call you back in like 5 minutes?
When I get home, I'm going to go home and continue this. And we're like, he's not calling
And we're like,
back.
we're never going to hear from Bobby. We thought we scored the interview that we have wanted. And there he goes.
Literally call back in 15 minutes.
Nicest guy ever. He's like, I hit every green light. He's like, I got home in record time. He called us back. So that was great chatting with him. What we're going to do a little different, we got to ask him our questions last time. So this time, we're going to ask him your questions. So a couple days ago on Instagram, we put out there that we're going to be talking to him. We said, fire away your questions. We've selected a few of them that we think are really excellent questions. So thank you, guys. We're going to fire those off. We got very limited time with Bob because he's such a busy man. I see him down there just with going from seemingly one meeting to the next. So we're going to fire away as many of those questions we can. Excited about it. Speaking of which, before we bring them up, I want to do a quick thanks to our sponsors. Of course, one of them being Titleist, the new SM8 wedges. Perfect timing. We're going to talk to Bob in a second about them. They are catching so much buzz down there. I saw them. I'm going black.
You're going black out, huh?
I'm going to do it. I'm going to get them this year, and I'm going to do it. But I'm sure you guys are seeing it all over social. They've been all the buzz. Also, the Titleist T-Series irons are here. The 100, the 200, the 300, things that we've been gaming for the last couple of months. We brought them down with us. We're playing a little golf while we're here in Florida.
Right. And I've seen the Scotty Cameron Select, the special select putters are here, which is new in a drop.
Yep.
And if we're talking drops, of course, big news out of AVX.
Big news out of AVX. So we're going to go check that out in a second. You guys can check all that out by going to Titleist.com. Also, of course, we want to thank FootJoy. We were just over in their booth, got to see some new things. Very exciting. A number of new advancements in the Pro SL line, the Tour X line, and of course, we're getting to wear their new spring line, which we've been working very closely with them to do some of our
You look good at floral.
Thank you.
You know,
I'm a man who can pull off flowers.
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
Nice work.
Maybe comment, maybe don't comment below and let me know if I can pull it off. But special thanks to FootJoy. They helped us make everyday playable in Scotland. We went through some of their rain gear. Terrific stuff. Go to footjoy.com to check that out. And last but not least, ShotScope. We got to meet with them yesterday. So many exciting things coming from the ShotScope team. They are always working on making their products better, more accurate. And we're talking about a product that's already the most accurate when it comes to shot tracking. So make sure you check them out. Go to shotscope.com/Golficity. They've got incredible deals on the new V2. They showed us some of the different things that they're doing with the software, with the dashboard. There's club compare features now.
Love that.
And I love that because I want to take a look at my differences in the T-Series versus the AP3. And you can see all that. All that tracking is done for you with the ShotScope system. So go to shotscope.com/Golficity to check that out.
Absolutely.
Right? We're going to go poke Bob in a second and bring him up here. But I'm really excited to fire off these questions. I can't thank you guys enough for all of the great questions that came in.
There were some good ones.
Excited about it.
There were some good ones, and we might give away a little something special.
I'm hoping.
We're working on something.
It's actually, to this second, it hasn't been quite ironed out yet. But we got to run into another one of our friends, Aaron Dill, who you guys may know, at Vokey Wedge Rep on Instagram. He stamped our wedges, the custom. He's in the tour truck. He does all the incredible custom tour stamping.
He does.
And where we last left off, he kind of disappeared into a side room and said, I have an idea.
That's all we know.
So we're going to see where that goes in a minute and what he comes back with.
Yes.
So hopefully it's something incredibly exciting. But beyond that, we are in Florida all week for the PGA Show. Sadly, the joke is we brought the New Jersey, New York cold weather with us. 40 degrees and windy yesterday. 31 degrees when we left the place this morning.
It's going to heat up, though.
It's going to heat up. But we're indoors all day today. We're going to be at this show from sun up to sundown. There's, as you can probably see behind us, there's way more than you can see in one day.
Look how many people. Can you even see that?
It just
Look at that
keeps
sea
going.
of people.
It just keeps going.
And what time is it? 10?
It's early.
11?
It's
Jeez.
early. So very exciting stuff. We are, though, going to play golf tomorrow.
That's right.
We're going to be at Champions Gate. A couple episodes back, you guys heard we had game-like training on. On the episode, they talked about you guys got to get down here and do it firsthand. So that's what we're going to do.
Dude,
so we're going to be there with
pretty
them.
good in that challenge tomorrow. That's my goal.
Yeah, we got. All right, I think we got to put something on the line.
Yeah,
I think we've got to start the trash talk now.
We're
going to do a little challenge. That's going to be fun. We're going to be doing some night golf. Our buddy Seb from Seb on Golf is going to be in town. We're going to link up with him for some fun night golf. That's what this week is all about. It's about seeing everybody, collaborating, having fun.
That's what it is.
And
it's all about.
It's our Super Bowl.
It is.
It really is our Super Bowl.
Plus all these products, just getting your hands on them,
Oh,
seeing them firsthand. It's fantastic.
So we apologize for all the background noise because, as you can see where we are, but as I said, we're excited to get Bob on the show. So what do you say? Let's give him the high
What do we
sign.
do? We just flag him up here?
Let's flag him.
We scream Bob down there? How does this work?
So
I'll go grab
we're going to get Bob up here, bring him on, and ask him some of your questions. So stay tuned 1 second for that. All right, guys. So we have the honor of having Mr. Bob Vokey himself here with us. Bob, last time we spoke, it was on the phone. It was a fire drill. Interrupted us.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah, that was something. So this is a much more controlled setting here.
I had to evacuate my house. I had to run home. I had to evacuate my house.
Yep.
Grab my 2 cats and my wife and went and hid somewhere.
Hey, it happens. But now we're here. Hopefully the fire alarm won't go off on us again. Right. And last time we were here, last time we spoke, I should say, we got to ask you a bunch of our questions. So this time we wanted to turn it around and have some of our listeners submit their questions.
Love to.
And they've got some great questions we want to go through. And the first one, I think, just kind of kicks it off perfectly here. And this is the stuff that we all want to know. Paxton IHM1 says, "Hey, Mr. Vokey, what are the new changes in the SM8 from the SM7?
Biggest what we've done all the time, what we do, we learn each series of wedges, going all the way back to the 5s, the 6s, the 7s. There are all these little things that we have to say. We don't realize until we get the product out. We do so much extensive testing, but we know some areas we have to improve a little bit. And we found out with the 7s, we had to improve because we found out certain shots, the dynamic loft would actually change. With delivery to the ball. So anyway, so what we did, we looked at that and we went back to, and it's amazing, everything being done on computer now. So we had found something that we could turn around and there's CG, we all know it goes 4 ways. It was up and down. That's what we did. Then the second iteration on the 7s went up and down and out a little. But then all of a sudden, and also back on the higher lock to 58 through 60, it moved back. So we found out when it was back, that was particularly the lobbers, it was changing a dynamic loft. So we said, okay, how are we going to stop this? So we went back and we found out by moving the CG back forward towards the face, and they said, how the heck did you do that? Well, we did that originally in the prototype. We had 2 little balls welded to the toe to move it all out to get that feeling the weight was out there. Right. But of course, it wasn't a percent. I wish I had a picture of it. But anyway, that was what we hit it. So how do we get it out? We did it by the area that's foremost the furthest is the hosel. So we end up changing the hosel a little bit on make it a little longer, added a little bit more weight in the 58 to 62, and as a result, we had to counterbalance that because we didn't want the MOI to change too much towards the hosel, so we had to get the MOI back out again.
Right.
Keep the balance of it. As a result, we found out it increased the MOI by 7%, but we still had the MOI that you can still move and hit the shots that you wanted to hit.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't too good, It's great. For feedback we've been getting on 8s, all the way from Sea Island, letting the tour players hit it, and all the previous testing we did, and players hitting them right now. It's been amazing. So that was the first big innovation. The other was what we did. We added a a D grind and a 54 and a 56. The D is very similar to the M grind, except it has a little bit more bounce, which players actually, I like to have that right situated in our lineup, 12 degree, right between the 14 degree bounce and the 10 degree bounce. So it was a good addition to our lineup. And as a result, each one, we worked very hard on score lines also. Refining the score lines a little bit to where, of course, we know the spin. We get as much spin as anybody is. We didn't change that there, but we got a little bit, we changed our tolerances, working on our bender. It was so very important. But then another iteration was the look. Notice the classic look that it has now. We didn't have the pads that we had before. I call it under the hood. How did you do that? Just by that weight conditions that we saw. And it made the classic back. And the funny thing about it, at Sea Island, every player who hit it, everyone said, Volk, what did you do? Did you change the metal? It seems to be a little softer.
Yeah.
But not too soft.
Yeah.
But really that's done. We didn't change the metal, but it's done by moving the CG in a proper impact position. That's where we
it feels
improved.
a little bit softer.
Yeah, because, CG, what you've got to realize, and where CG comes in, because that's center of gravity of a wedge, it's almost like a pinhead. That's where it is. So where center of gravity really helps you is on your miss hits. So it improves that.
Yes.
It improves.
That's
why it is really, really good in the SM8s. So then, of course, is the classic look, and of course the finishes.
Yes.
We instead of our tour chrome finish, we went to more of a gloss finish. Because in the playing position, when you put a lob wedge down, particularly in the wedge, you start laying it open, it could reflect. So we did the tour chrome. We sort of glossed it a little bit. It's almost like a satin. And then we got our jet black, which is still very important.
Jet black.
It's very important.
Yep.
And then, of course, we went to a brushed steel. It's sort of a shiny, the other one, brushed steel. And what I think, that's my personal favorite.
Yeah.
I like that. It's cool looking. You sit it down, and doggone it works.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for the SMA, how long was that development cycle? How long have you been working on it, moving from the SM?
I'm already working on SM9s.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
We're already, from the time SM8s is out there, 9s. Then we want to get the profile we want. We want to make sure we get the right grinds. We've got 6 proven tour grinds. They've been in the line, and we modified a little bit, so we put them in. It's been great. It's been great refining the grooves to go along with the center of gravity.
Yes.
Grooves work perfect. I mean, everything is. It's like almost like you're saying, wait a second, everything is too good. It's happening too good. I mean, wait a second. What? Every tour player likes it. Great iteration that I had. I got my fellas, I call it, the guys that loved it. So I was a little concerned about maybe being too good. You can't hit that little bleeder right to your shot that you want to hit. Tour players love that 50-yarder, 60-yarder, hit it out in the toe and move it a little right, let it bleed a little right, ball. Right. So I got Mike Weir was in, good friend of mine for many years. He's in my top 10, and Tom Pernice. I had both of them. I run them through the drill, and all of them said, of course, where's he? Left-handed, moved it a little. I said, Volk, I can hit that shot. Here it is, watch it. Boom. Pernice, same way. That's when I felt really, really good. I'm like
put that concern to bed.
It is. I put it to bed. Boom. Yeah. Now, you don't think after the demo day yesterday, I had players out there saying how much they love them in 45 degree or 50 degree weather in the wind.
I was just saying, we walked past the line.
Yeah.
To try the Volk.
And so I said, you can imagine how people are going to hit them when it's 75 degrees. Absolutely. So I slept real well last night.
Yeah. After all that work.
Oh, yes.
Right. To be able to have that little bit of just confidence.
And it's the team.
Yeah.
I got a great team with me now. From my days of 23 years ago by myself, now all of a sudden I got a great wedge team.
Oh, that's terrific.
And it's super.
That's terrific. And it leads me into the next question, which you may have answered, but T-Law 120 says, how is it that every year there's a better wedge? How do you work on outdoing yourself? Is it there's more technology in the materials and the tooling that you can use? Is it, as you said, just looking to fill in different holes? What is that process?
I think probably getting the feedback from the best players in the world. Okay. PGA Tour, not just the PGA Tour, tours all over the world. That's our top of the pyramid.
Got it.
Definitely. We get the feedback from them. Okay, let's try to improve it here. Then we turn around, we'll get feedback from our general public. All our public will hit the ball. All our testing.
Which is a huge sampling.
Yeah.
There's so many.
So we take all this feedback, and this is why we'll work on certain parts to get ahead of the game. And then when this feedback comes in, that's when we can improve upon that. That's basically what it is. And I think we're getting our technologies that we can, with the CAD cam operated, you can turn around and put the weight, and working with our iron team, working with our old team, and you get in that room and all of a sudden these ideas flash by and I go, wait a second, guys, jeez.
And you've been doing this so long, there's probably a little bit of a component of liking to outdo yourself.
Oh,
you have
yeah.
a little competition with yourself?
All the time.
Yeah.
Oh, I said, I can make a better wedge than a computer on my hands. No, I'm finding, the years gone by, pretty doggone good at it, a computer, I tell you. Oh, it's unbelievable. It's changed. That's one of the biggest innovations that I've seen in wedge work, anywhere, wedge of anything.
Right.
I got asked in an interview before, and I thought about it. They said, is house technology? I said, wedge technology is phenomenal. And that was a big component.
For sure. I mean, we're seeing it across the board. It's another tool to use.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, some people, there's a little pushback on the computer getting involved in it, but then it's a tool, and if in the right hands, just like any tool, you can do something with it.
Got a heck of a team right now, and they know what this old guy wants, and they'll do it. Plus, they put all their little things, their younger slant on it with the younger golfer public,
There you go. And that's what you said.
It's a blend of it.
Testament to the team and the different demographics.
It is.
It
changes. It's like life, isn't it? Isn't life changing all the time?
100%.
Change. So I'm stubborn sometimes, but I'm changing.
There you go. Hey, I got a fun one for you. Jasso4239 said, what is the highest degree loft you ever made?
I
made
made
a story, maybe one off you had to do for somebody, something like that?
It's something I'll tell you. I made a one off for Paul Casey, not to play with. I made him. I had it was came out to be about 75 degrees. I had to cut the hawser, re-weld it, 75 degrees. And he used it because he could hit balls in his back home in England at that time. He was living in England, and he could hit it in his yard, take a full swing, and hit it up in the air. It's just a practice.
Degrees even look
like that.
Yeah.
I got something even better than that.
What's that?
They made total surprise to me. I had a birthday last summer.
I remember seeing this.
Remember that?
I'll let you tell it. But I remember
80,
seeing this.
The big 80. Guys,
Did
80.
Aaron put that together?
Aaron and the whole team and the wedge team took it, put it helped to get it in the computer. And when I was presented with this, it's pretty cool. If you saw the all the stamp, 80 candles on it. They were looking for a room to stamp 80 candles. Trust me. Had the candles on it, had my date of birth, July 15, 1939. And it was a big 80 on it. And then I even had in the back of the thing, there it is right there.
There you go. I remember seeing that come up on my feed.
And did you see the car in the back?
Yes.
I looked at that and I said, Doc, when I first looked, I said, that's a Corvette. I said, what is that? It's a 62. That's my Corvette. Because I have a 62 Corvette. Oh, my God.
That is wild. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
Another one, this one actually, funny enough, comes from your team. They said, what's the story with the M grind?
Can I say the
you can tell us any
closed version
let's
or
tell us not the closed doors version. What's the more PG version?
Originally when I first started it, because I used to have it starting the block and I did it by hand. It took me over 2 hours to grind that particular wedge. I did it originally because I used to take the toe off for Lanny Watkins and I take the trailing edge and heel off for Lou Trevino. So I took that wedge out on tour and I used to grind it, and the first one, then another player would hit it and say, God, I want one like that. Can you? I'd have 4 or 5 guys wanting them, so I had to call my grinder back. I had one grinder at the time, and I'd call in him, and I said, can you prepare them for me? I'll be in Thursday morning after my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday out on tour. So I'd be in there, and so we can get going on them, so I wouldn't have to spend 2 to 3 hours grinding it.
Talk about doing everything yourself.
So he had it, and I said, the one we grind, and then he said something. We're gonna. That X-rated. Oh, that's a real X-rated to grind.
Yeah.
So I stamped my favorite on the wedge. MF on the back of the wedge. My favorite wedge.
My favorite. That's terrific.
And then we had to, of course, the F had to go once we put it in the line in our TVD series.
Right.
That's how the M grind.
Amazing how some of these things come about.
Yeah,
it really is. Let's see here. Oh. Here's another question from Peter B. McCann. He said, aside from the current line, the SM8s, was there other favorite wedge? Something that just stuck with you, that you designed throughout the years? Was there?
It's as you know, any wedge that we don't know, and I advise people, they ought to go on our website,
Yeah.
the Vokey Design or the Wedgework series. We offer a lot of wedges that have been my favorites over the years.
Yeah.
That they're just not enough to volume in them to put them in the line.
Right.
They're right there, all offered there.
Oh,
but
really? Still available? you
Still
say?
available.
Wow,
They're
wow,
all
okay.
still there. And I want to say another thing. You can have a grind. I personally grind them myself with our grind series. A hand ground, you can call in the Wedgework, and you can have heel relief. You can have trailing edge
That's
relief.
incredible.
You can have a thinner top line. You can have a little different profile. You can have the bounce changed.
Mhm.
And it's all on Wedgeworks, through Wedgeworks.
And that's one of
And
my
ground
favorite
series.
things about wedges in general is how much can go into them.
Oh, no doubt
how
about
much
it.
it can be customized really to the player.
It's so personal.
It really is.
Hey, what's the most, I think, I'm going to be a wedge. I think wedges are the most important clubs in your bag
for sure.
for all of us.
They're your
Me
scoring
included.
clubs. Yeah.
I'm never going to hit a 300-yard drive.
Right.
I'm going to hit 5-6 greens around if I'm lucky.
Right.
How many times does it get up and down?
And that's why we're such proponents of getting fit.
Oh,
Because
it's so important.
In the hands
So
of an
important.
expert who knows and can guide you through that, because there are so many options.
There is.
And then you have the benefit of the fitting and all the options.
No
Put it
doubt about
together,
it.
because we're also unique as golfers.
Yeah.
We all play the game differently. We play it in different areas, different geographics.
Yes.
So
It's so important.
Really
You know, the green, like how greens you play to, bunkers you play from, that's there. You know what type of swing type you are.
yeah.
You know, you're steep, you're shallow. Those are things that you
Yeah.
could turn around,
Yeah.
and when you get fit, you get fit. But sometimes to get fit right, that swing type may change from full shot, half shot, green side. That may change. You may be steep, then green side you might be shallow.
Bob, I
So
take
those are
divots
things.
that you can lay down and take a nap in.
No.
They're that big.
Yeah,
I think that's not a wedge problem. I think it's a mic problem, right?
yeah, a little steep.
Yeah,
I know.
a little bit.
I know somebody else who takes divots the same way. Right over there.
He's a big divot guy.
He's so
He's a divot taker, but he can play.
Okay.
He knows what
Well, that's
the
the
divot
difference
does.
between me and him then.
Mike is so steep that Aaron actually stamped 811 on his, because he calls 811 before he digs, to make sure that there's no gas pipes there or anything we need to
I
worry
love it.
about.
I love
Yeah.
it.
It's great
So
stuff.
That's great.
That was tremendous.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Bob, we really appreciate it.
I
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
appreciate
So, before we go, we got something special here, right?
Yes, that's right, actually. Aaron just brought this up. So a
Oh,
little something, as we all know, the glove that you've made so famous.
yes, right.
We were going to ask if you wouldn't mind autographing one for
I
us.
would love to do
And
that.
we would be able to give that to some of the fans.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Awesome. So one lucky winner. will
One
take
lucky
this one
winner
home.
is going to take this home, and
Autographed
we'll
by
get all the
Bob
details
himself.
out to you guys. And that's going to be something truly special. That's
It's a
so
little tough
true.
with the reeds there, but
So great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
fine. Thank you.
And we really
I
do
love it.
appreciate you taking the time. We see how busy you are. There's so much buzz around the SM8s down
Yeah,
there.
there's nobody here. I mean, I can't say shit.
No. What
God.
would be your rough count of people here? We were estimating at least 3,000 people in this middle column alone.
Unbelievable.
At least, you know?
And everybody
So-
says the golf business is sort of level and her. I said,
Yeah. Come
Take
take
a
a look
look.
at this.
Take
right
a
now.
look.
Look at
The
this
proof
sea
is
of
in front of
people
your
out
eye.
there. It's
So
incredible.
thank you so much, Mr. Bob Vokey. We're going to be giving that away to one lucky listener.
So cool.
It's been so great chatting with you.
Drew, thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob.
Thanks. My
Appreciate it.
pleasure. Thank you.
All right. How cool is that?
That is the coolest thing.
And I'm sad we're giving it away, but I'm excited we're giving it away.
So, AD, Aaron Dale did not disappoint. This is what he came out with.
yeah, we were going to sign a ball or a hat. He's like, no. I got a better idea.
I got a better idea.
Let's get this standard Craftsman glove, the one Bob's been known to wear over the years.
And you go to the Vokey Wedge website, you see the gloves, he writes Voke on them. So this is going to be something truly special. Looking forward to giving that away. So we just found out about, so I haven't even ironed out the details of how we want to do this giveaway, but I'm sure by the time we get the podcast come out, all the information
All the info
will
will
be
be in
there.
the description.
So
right
make sure
now.
you check out the show notes for that. But this is a truly special one. I mean, how do you beat
It
this
was
one?
great. I love talking to Bob. Like you said, we had him on the show not long ago, and every time we run into him at certain events, he's just a great personality. You can see how passionate it is about his job, and
There's certain times, too, you just start to see him light up like he wants to tell that story.
he does.
There's just so much, there's his passion behind it. I mean, you talk about a lifetime of doing what he loves,
Yeah.
doing his passion, and
Yeah.
coming from the humble beginnings of doing it all himself to now being surrounded by this excellent team.
Yeah.
As he said, I think it's just something you can tell it excites him, and it's just incredible to feel that energy kind of rub off a little bit.
Yeah. It's pretty incredible. How about that 80-degree wedge, though?
80-degree. I remember seeing
Yeah.
that pop up on my feed, and
That's
I
a
thought it was
great gift
incredible
idea.
at the time. So,
That's a great gift idea.
but huge thanks to all of you, like I said, who submitted your questions. We really wanted this to be that. We wanted it to be a chance for you guys to ask your questions. We felt so fortunate to have Bob on the show 2 years ago and ask him our questions. So we're going to try to do more of that. So make sure you guys follow us on all the social channels, because we will put that out there from time to time if we've got a guest coming on the show, as well as in the Facebook group.
Right.
You know, we get a lot of times we get the feedback and questions from you guys in the group. So make sure you guys are in there. Again, just a special thing. And we've got still a lot more ground to cover. Are your feet ready?
We do.
Are your feet ready?
My feet are ready, man.
We've got at least, 20 more of these booths to hit, even just in this section.
Yeah, it's incredible. Look at that sea of people, man.
It's
it just goes.
It really is. And like, this is even one of those things we feel so fortunate to be able to attend every year.
Right.
Because these couple of days, it's for, media. And then I believe on the 5th day Friday, they open it up to the public. So if you guys have a chance to come to this,
Yep.
it truly is a golfer's just paradise.
Exactly.
Getting to see
That's the
everybody
word
in one
for it.
place. So again, we got things to do. We got to bounce. We got to get down there. So thank you all, as always, for watching and following along. And big thanks, like I said, to the whole Vokey team for helping set this up. Bob Vokey himself. Great stuff. You ready?
Yeah, let's go. See you guys.
See you guys.